to this. Welcome to this interview, Signe. It's good to see you.
Hi.
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 Yeah, I'm sitting here in Denmark, and you are in the United States, in California.
Yes.
Yeah, and this interview, I'm just curious to know something about you, who you are, and so on, and what this, what the turning point, this 3-week program is, and what it is you are doing. So maybe we can just start like that. And yeah, I'm just curious to know where you're from and how did you get into this?
How did I get into this? Uh, there are so many things I want to tell you, but I would start from the point uh, when you are young, you think you can be everyone,
Yeah.
anything, and you can do this and that, no matter what. But then time goes by and you try different activities. You
Mhm.
try to make business and this and that. And within this, you really feel what is your thing and what is not.
Yeah.
And so I created three pretty big businesses, two in Latvia and one in America.
Mm.
And with every next business, I was working way more harder, way more harder. And I stepped out of my comfort zone and I stretched myself to the maximum, especially in a very last business in America.
Mm.
And they were all successful, pretty successful. But the thing is, I realized that I lack this business, um, not approach, but some nerve which
Mm-hmm.
should be inside of you to really become a business shark,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have it, then it's more like your hobby. You
Yeah.
are doing this, and at the same time, you're making little money, you can survive. But it was never my point because when
Yeah.
I do something, I want to go big.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, during those years, last 15 years, I also discovered that this willingness to reach high results is also about ambitions and ego.
Yeah.
And that's not the right point to start.
No.
But to be successful in business, it's pretty much the key.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not about me. And I never felt comfortable
Mm.
when it came to real business.
Yeah.
Me and someone, and we have to make deals or competition and all those things.
Yeah.
I just feel weird when I have to do something like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes even very, very, very unhappy or depressed. And
Yeah.
17 years ago, I attended very first transformational program. It was a leadership program.
Mm.
And at that point, I figured out that there exists in this world people who are doing this on a regular basis. And they are transformational trainers or
Yeah.
coaches or gurus or whatever.
Mm.
And before that, I didn't even know that something like that exists.
No.
It was 2004, and I was in a 5 month
Yeah.
leadership program. And what I took from there was leadership
Mm.
and ambitions and this go big approach. And it almost killed me during those next, let's say, 15 years. And now, last 2 years, more than 2 years, when I stopped my business in America,
Yeah.
I am deeply in my spiritual pathway. And what I mean with this, different types of meditations are my everyday practice. I have different spiritual teachers,
Yeah.
but it's not only about you sit in light and you love everyone. It's just very superficial approach of what it means.
Mm-hmm.
For me, all those 2.5 years of everyday hard work was about healing myself,
Mm.
about healing those areas which were never healed by a lot of different other methods which I used for my self heal, and when I went to different group therapies and other programs. So I realized that there is so much to heal
Yeah.
yet, and I started with this, and it was very painful, of course,
Yeah.
not easy, and you are so much of your time in transformations. And
Mm.
when you are in transformations, you are kind of you, but not you at the same time.
Yeah.
And for people who live with you, it's also not easy
No.
because you are so different. And when they ask you questions like, is it new you? You don't have even the answer
No.
because it's like a period in between something, and you never know when it will start and you never know when it will end.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So would you say that is part of transformation, that you go through these phases, that one stage, in the beginning you discover something is not right, and then you start walking the path of transformation, and sometimes it's difficult, but you have the goal in mind, or how would you say, what is the path of transformation? How was it for you?
First of all, I think there should be intention.
Mm.
Because if you go through your life and you are not happy with this, but
Mm.
on the other hand, you are happy subconsciously, which means I am okay with suffering, but
Yeah.
I'm not okay to
Mm.
take any new steps towards new directions because it can be even worse.
Mm.
Worse, you know.
Yeah.
And I see it so many times that people don't have courage, or they just don't put their intentions out.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say the intentions to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And from my perspective, they just love suffering.
Mm-hmm. But
But
you,
of course, it's the choice of the soul. If
yeah,
soul did this choice, that's okay. But I always think that if you don't like something about you, or something about how you feel, or where you are, or you don't love your pathway, you should change it. And
yeah,
I'm not just talking nicely, those
yeah,
Facebook nice posters, oh, change this, do this, it's easy to say,
mm,
but I always try to look deeper at who is saying this or that. Is this person living his or her life the way they talk about?
yeah, mm,
And so I really think that with the way I lived so far,
mm,
um, courage to change life and to take new challenges and to stretch myself either to business previously and now towards healing myself,
mm,
becoming really who I wanted to become.
yeah,
Um, it shows that it's possible.
yeah. But tell me, how did you find out who you really wanted to become? How did you discover that?
Uh, if I would knew it when I was 20, then I would
Yeah,
do it for all my life. But
yeah,
at my 20s, I had no idea about this. At my 20s, I was dreaming about becoming a surgeon because I was studying medicine, and I got in a hospital for the very first time in the operation theater at my age of 13, and I fell in love with medicine.
mm,
Before that, I wanted to become something about arts, either painting, either music, because I had talents in both. But then I became totally committed with my goal to become a surgeon and to
mm,
be in medicine and to help people. And then, yes, I became a medical doctor. Then I became a lawyer. So for a while, after my medical studies, I was really confused
yeah,
with what I want, where I'm going, because it was in the very, very frustrating times of
mm,
90s in Latvia, we got freedom in 1991, and I graduated from my high school 1991.
Okay.
So this was very like changing times, and
Yeah.
when times outside are changing, you are young. It's you just see yourself, you just follow your dreams, and my dream was to become a doctor, but
But
the
that's
state.
quite a change, huh? That's quite a change going from natural science, from the medical, being a medical doctor, to going into the spiritual. How did that? I mean, how did that happen?
I think it's not so big difference like it looks from the very first
Mhm,
look,
mhm,
because medicine and spiritual both are, you help yourself and you help people.
mhm.
It's about healing.
Yeah.
Both are about healing.
Mhm.
And to everyone who has no idea who I am, what is my purpose, where I'm going, what would be the right pathway for my self realization,
Mhm.
first of all, you should understand who you are in connection with world outside you. Let's say, do you love be with people, talk with people and help them? Do you love being with animals? Do you love being in nature? Do you love technologies,
Yeah.
programming, IT things, and a lot of other things? Just think which is your natural state of being.
You have to
And
find
when
out
I,
what your attraction is. You have to find out
yes,
what it is you actually
what
love.
is your natural attraction
Yeah.
to?
Yeah.
And when I asked this question to myself years ago, my answer was very clear. I'm people's people.
Mhm.
I'm very much about people. And not only me, when I look back to my childhood and my teenage years, my friends and friends of my friends love to come to me to talk,
Mhm.
just to spend some time together, talk, because even being a kid or teenager, from nowadays perspective, I would say I was always going deep.
Yeah.
When someone told about something, it was never like, oh, you are this and that boy or girl is stupid. I always kind of went like more to psychology, what this boy is thinking, why he acted this way, what do you feel about it, or very
Yeah.
very
Yeah. Yeah.
funny. But yeah, I just love talking to people. I just love to see
Mm.
how they step by step find their inner strength of following their dreams, of following their pathway, of finding themselves, of changing their life.
Yes.
So this is something very specific, but when I see that someone does it, and
Yeah.
does not matter if it happens because of he or she attended my trainings or have been my patient or something. No, it's not about that.
No.
Even if I just see it in the movie or I read it in a magazine or a book and someone did this
Yeah.
change, my heart like poof, goes up like, oh yes, he did it.
But what does it take to really? I mean, if you kind of feel a change is needed, and you can feel that it seems like it comes from the inside. It comes like there's like an inner urge for a change, right? So what can actually, have you got some recommendations on what can help you with that change? If you can really feel there's something I'm not doing that is really important in order for me to be who I am, what are your suggestions?
If but now thinking of this question, I cannot even remember one single case when someone could do it on their own,
Yeah.
because if you could do it then you would.
Yeah.
But even in my case,
Mm.
I'm if I make a decision, if I put out my intention, I can follow it
Yeah.
pretty straightforward. Of course, there are always some ups and downs, but in general, yes. I can tell that on my way of transforming myself, of becoming a happier person during past more than 20 years, there were so many teachers, healers, people who were ready to give me their helping hand, their shoulder to cry. Whatever I needed at certain point of my development. And that's why I'm 100% sure it's very hard to do it on your own. Very, very hard. Because you are just you and you see yourself the way you see. But if there are other people around who are not there to criticize you, to blame or judge or make you feel bad about who you are at the point of your life where you are. No, it's not about that. Those are toxic people. Avoid them right away. But if you have people who are your friends, smart friends, loving friends, friends with a deep inner wisdom, sometimes even this is enough. So you talk to a friend like this, and that friend can give you literally 2 or 3 suggestions, very short, but they are so right for you, so perfect, in right timing, so that you can take them and start your change. But mostly what I see around, and since I work with people for a long time in a different ways, it always takes some serious events in your life. When you stop, freeze, cry, then you want to escape from your life. And then at one point you are like, I have to do something about it.
So there has to be some kind of events that kind of awakens you, right? Wakes you up.
I would say shake you up.
Shakes you, And then there has to be, then you have to find out what it is actually you love. This is what I learned so far from our conversation now. And you need to find out, what is my intention? What is it I would like to achieve? And then you say that you need a social network, or you need someone, some teachers or someone to help you on the path. Is that correct?
Yes.
What else do you need in order to have success?
I would say you need very, very big love to yourself and patience. Because when you start working on yourself, it's not like I will prepare the breakfast will be ready, I will eat it, and I'm done with my breakfast. So about working with yourself, healing process, self path of your self-realization, and everything what comes with you, what you cannot touch. There are never fast results.
No.
And also when you will set certain goals, let's say now it's November, April the 1st next year, I will be happy person. It's a nice intention, but you have no idea. Maybe something will happen in your life and you will be happy after 2 weeks from now. But maybe with this intention, your journey only starts and you will reach this goal in 20 years. Because my goal was set 20 years ago. And more or less satisfied with my life, I'm only now. So it was 20-year journey, and you cannot set very precise goals and deadlines. Because your life is not a business project.
So it seems to me, Signe, that it also has to do with your inner dialogue, not only the social network, which is important, and having the right teachers that support you and good friends, smart friends, as you say, but it also has to do with your inner dialogue. You have to be patient, and you have to have something that supports you in the way you are thinking. Is that right?
Yes. And also you should be pretty much connected to your body
Mm.
and to your feelings,
Yeah.
because you can set your intention. And I see it a lot of times. Someone is reading a book about how to make successful business, for example,
Mm.
and it says, when you will turn your hobby into your business, you will never fail. This is how it should be. Your hobby should be your business. Then you will never work again. You know those nice
Yeah,
quotes,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then turns out doing a hobby
Mm.
once a week,
Mm.
or doing this thing every day from early morning to late night, are totally different things.
Yeah. Mm.
If you would listen to your
Mm.
body would tell you right away in the very first month of this idea that something is going wrong.
Mm.
You thought this will be this, but actually all your feelings tells you that no, 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 stop and think again. This
Yeah.
is not the right thing you are doing.
Yeah.
This came from your logics, from
Yeah.
your mind. This came from that book that you should do
Mm.
this and then you will reach this and blah, 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 blah. But
Mm.
actually, this is not your way.
No.
And the only way how, how you can discover it and stop before you are very deep already in something is listening to your body. And I think, Michael, you are the right person to talk about mind and body.
Mm.
And I hope in the next interview, when I will be asking questions to you, you will tell more about this,
Mm.
because Western people are in general disconnected from their bodies. This is my understanding, and I'm not an exception. I also just learn about it.
Yeah.
And now I love this question. When I ask something important to myself, I ask, Signe, where do you feel this in your body? Or when it's something painful happening, I also always ask to myself,
Mm.
what it tells you, where do you feel it in your body? Oh, if left hand, what does it mean? Why left hand, you know?
Yeah.
Or in a pelvic area, or in the heart, or in the throat, or it's a headache or something. And
Yeah.
then you ask to yourself, you connect with your higher self, and higher self always tells you the story, what it really means.
Mm. So in this 3 week transformation program, we are also having you are actually also working with a transformation healing process. Can you
Yes.
tell a little bit about that? What is that about?
So, as I told you, my pathway of thinking that becoming a surgeon when I was 13, and now being a timeline healing therapist is the same thing, healing and helping people, but in a different ways.
Mm.
And I love to think that majority of our wounds, knots, traumas, blocks, can be healed in a very gentle way, without pills, without medical procedures and surgeries.
Mm.
If you are lucky enough to catch the symptoms
Mm.
at the early stages,
Yeah.
if you are lucky enough to admit to yourself that I have a problem,
Mm.
and I want to solve it
Yeah.
before it grows into a medical condition or medical problem,
Yeah.
so that all those healing processes, which are delivered by so many different types of healers in this world, I call it magic,
Mm.
because people with a logical mind, the same like majority of doctors, love to believe in what they can see from different lab tests, x-ray,
Yeah.
and different other medical examination methods. So then there is a proof what is wrong. But I will tell you that every initial stage of any problem you have in your body, there are no any medical changes which you can prove with such type of tests. So at the beginning, it's more like some blockages in energy, in somewhere in your body. And if you go to any type of healing, this gentle method, there is a very high probability that you can clean it out of your body. You can clean it out of your energy field. And this problem, which is in initial stages, will not grow into a bigger problem, which can be detected by or somehow catched out by medical examinations. And so this is what I'm telling as a medical doctor. And I really think that this is amazing that such possibility exists, and especially now in the 21st century, because in all the previous centuries it was way more difficult. Now there are so many people who used to be, let's say, bookkeepers and business people and different other professions, like myself too. And now they feel this inner call to do something totally different. In my surroundings, there are so many people who are now healers. They help people with very various types of methods, and it's magic, because if you become a healer, I don't know how you can become a healer at your 20s or 18 or 20 or 25 years old. I don't know. But if you become a healer after the long or pretty decent pathway in wrong directions, but actually in this life nothing is wrong. This was just your way. At one point when you say to yourself, I want to help people, I want to do this and that, and universe gives you methods how you can do it, and you study those methods, and then you feel again resonance if it's just a method for my own use. Because if you look at all those people who go to different trainings, maybe 10% the maximum would become as a practitioners of certain method, right? The rest just use this for own good. So if people find out what is the method which resonates with them, sooner or later they start using this for the good of other people. And so in my case, after so many different trainings and learning about different methods, timeline healing meditation technique really came in the right time in my life, and it gave a powerful healings and changes for myself. And for a while I was just using this method for my own good, and then maybe 8 months later, at one point after deep transformation, I came out of this with understanding that I am ready to use this method as a healing method to help other people. And right away there were so many people who wanted to try it with me, and I was lucky enough to do it. And also I had some colleagues, and we were sharing with each other method, and we were growing and finding our own additions to this. Because one thing is like basic method, but the
Yeah,
other thing is you add your own uniqueness to this.
yeah.
And
So what I understand is that the transformation program also, includes the possibility to do the timeline healing. And
yes,
I'm curious what that seems to be like an important aspect,
yes,
right, of the
yes.
transformation. What else are you offering during the
So I
few
would be
weeks?
happy to explain a little bit about what does it mean, this method. When we will be going into the transformation program, many of you will realize, yes, I have the issue with forgiveness. But on the conscious level, I thought that I forgave 10 or 20 years ago. But when Michael and Jeffrey and me will shake you up, you will discover that, oh my gosh, I only thought I forgave. Actually, I have deep feelings inside of me, still anger, still, I don't know, not acceptance of the situation or of that person or
Yeah.
something. And it's impossible to solve in a logical level.
Mm.
So that's why I usually explain to people that you can go to a psychotherapist, and I have many, many clients who did psychotherapy
Mm.
for years. And they always say it was a relief right after the session, meeting with my psychotherapist. And I felt good for 1 week, but then everything went back. And of course, because it's your logical level where
Mm.
you were communicating with your, I would say also helper or healer or therapist, but the wound, the knot, the block is not in a logical level, not your physical mind, but it's on energy levels,
Mm.
in six lower body energy levels. And there should be done a different way, deeper energy healings. And timeline healing method is how we do it. We go back to the situation or event or something what happened in your past, in this life or in previous lives sometimes, and higher self helps with this. And then we stop the time, and then we get healings from yourself because you are in your meditative light body, and
Yeah.
you can heal yourself any moment
Mm.
when you feel this inside of you. I am powerful human being, I am divine being, and I can heal myself. If we
Mm.
would be born with this knowledge, if we would learn it in a school, we would never have doubts about that I can help myself.
Yeah.
But we are born and raised in a very, very different
Mm.
system and
Mm.
way of thinking, and so we always need someone outside of us to help us. So that's why we go then back in time, and then we get healings from your meditative, from you being in meditative light body, from your higher self, and from your spirit guides,
Yeah.
because we ask to come in spirit guides who really work the situation out. And you can maybe say, oh, that's just some, I don't know, you just think that you are seeing this, or you are giving healings, or something is happening. But the thing is, we see the same picture,
Mm.
me and my clients, when we are in this
Yes.
event. We see the same thing, and we are far away from each other. You cannot tell that it's because of you are in the same energy field 1 meter from each other, that's why you see the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the case. And always after those healing sessions, it takes some time. It's not like you are right away healed, because energy fields are changing within approximately 40 days. It takes
Mm.
time. But
Mm.
again, as I started this, my explanation is, you cannot wish all the changes tomorrow morning. You have to give yourself time,
Mm.
and you have to be gentle, loving to yourself.
Yeah.
And if you give yourself time, love, and yeah, real love,
But that's
sooner
wonderful
or
that you are
later.
supporting with it as
Sorry?
part of the. It's wonderful you're doing this as part of the program.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will have 3 sessions, and since there will be 3 weeks with a different main theme, like first week will be forgiveness, second theme acceptance, and week number 3 will be about love. So then in each of the weeks, we will have a timeline healing session about particular theme.
Yeah. Yeah. So this 3-week transformation program, how did that come up? Because you are like the one who started this, the founder.
Yeah, it's it's nice to think that we people are those creators, but that's not true. To be honest, the idea of such type of program came to me in a deep meditation. Not this year August, but last year August, that I have to create transformation program where I am doing what I am doing. Then I attract someone who does breath work and qigong. And first program I created for my Latvian people, because I live in California, but I'm still Latvian and I'm deeply connected with people in Latvia, and I have all my friends
Yeah.
there, and also spiritual friends. And in the meditation, they also gave those very first names of the masters. I should like ask them if they are interested. And after that, I sent them short letters, and both of them right away said, yes, great idea. I was waiting for something like that in my life. And so in 3 weeks from that meditation, our first program started in Latvian. And if we translate literally into the English, the name of the program was I am finally doing this, or I'm all in.
Yeah.
Because our approach at the beginning was it will be more about, you think for 5 years, oh, I should start qigong, I have heard about it so many times, but okay,
Yeah.
I will start on Monday, okay, I'll start after my birthday, I'll start January the 1st or something, and you never start it. And then you think, oh, I should start meditate, and you dream about it for 10 years or 15 years and you never start it.
Yeah.
Or you think, or you saw some trainings or Facebook ads that breath work, oh, it gives so powerful changes. That's amazing. I should find a breathwork teacher and start it again, but you never do.
No.
And there it means about, you are not just sitting and watching a webinar because it's easy to do, right? But
Yeah.
you really start some activities together with someone who is leading the program, the specially designed program with intention, with
Yeah.
special approach. And so our first program was 6 weeks long, very long. And the idea was that we were working all about gratitude. And so deeply it touched all those people. And in that program was like 110 people as a members, as a participants. And it was very successful because so many people later on created changes at a pretty large scale in their lives.
Yeah.
Because when you are in the program, you are working hard, but then you need integration period after the hard work, when actually those changes in your life starting to happen. And so now, 1 year later, more than 1 year later, I received still feedbacks from that people changed, people started looking at their lives and everything what's going on very, very differently. And I'm very happy about that. And so since I started my activities in English only this September, because I was dreaming about it for a while, but I
Yeah.
had no courage to do it because I always look around and like the world is full of people, full of teachers and gurus who has fluent, perfect English, and they are maybe more suitable and more like just better than me,
Mm.
and they should do it. But then at one point, 2 months ago, I realized, no,
Mm.
I am not worth. I am also like I can give a lot of value to people I work with, and
Yeah.
I just should start doing in English. Yes, my English is not perfect,
Mm.
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
My energy is
Perhaps that's the
this.
most important. That's the energy it's coming from.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I decided to start in English. And literally next week after I started, again, this idea of knock, knock, knock. There is English version knocking. Can
Yeah.
you please do the same thing like you did a year ago in September in
Mhm.
Latvian? You should do the same thing in English. And then I contacted one amazing spiritual coach from San Diego. And I asked her, can you please, Christine, tell me, because you are more familiar with the different English speaking masters and teachers and gurus, can you please suggest me someone with who is breathwork master? And she introduced me with Jeffrey,
Yeah.
and then Jeffrey introduced me with you.
Yes.
And so far, even if the program is in process and it will start
Yeah.
in January, I already feel so happy and blessed
Yeah.
about opportunity to get to know you both,
Mm.
because you both are amazing masters, amazing personalities, amazing men, and I just really think when we all three come together with all this love to people, with all this willingness to help in a loving, gentle way, the program will be simply amazing. This is my inner feeling.
Yeah. Well, all these good things in the pot, in the transformation pot. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
very good. So we are about to end the interview. Have you got some last things you want to say that are is as important to say?
The most important thing is, if you listen to this interview, we are kindly inviting you to watch the other interviews which are already in the channel and will be
Yeah.
there, because we will be interviewing each other. So 6 interviews total with each other. And if you feel at least a little resonance with what you hear, what you feel, uh, think about it twice, but take all your courage, take all your goodwill, and
Mm.
say yes to this program, because you can never promise anything to anyone, but I really feel like, in the name of all of us three, we will do our best
Mm.
to help you in the best possible ways, which we learn as healers, as masters in our certain areas. And you will be held in the program, and the field of the program will be so supportive and transformational at the same time. This will be unique because you can go to a separate masters at the same time. You can go to work with someone who teaches you breath work. You can go to someone who gives you healing sessions, and you can also go every evening to yoga class or qigong class or something, which will be great if you will be doing this in a 3 separate ways, and you have to drive there and to meet those people. But the field of the program means
Mm.
we three masters and all the people who will be in this program, we will be so much focused on the same intention. And if there are so many people focused on same intention with the same idea to work on, then there should be absolutely amazing results. This is how universe works, and this is how power of intention works and field of the group works.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been a lot of wise words and wise experiences and a lot of inspiration. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, everyone. And I hope to see you in January in the program.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.